Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine and this is going to be the weekly reading for March 21st through the 31st. So it's the last week, we'll do the extra days. What was I going to say? My train of thought. Oh yes, please keep in mind that these readings are general. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Also keep in mind that masculine and feminine stand more for energy than gender. So again, whatever side resonates with you, that is for you. That's the energy that you're embodying at the moment. Of course, if you'd like a personal reading, all the information is below. And I'm trying to think of what else I need to say. Now, originally, like I said, I am a person who prefers, unless I'm doing a Celtic cross spread or something like some other specific spread, where I will shuffle the cards in a way where they'll just align with the question, the order of the question. But I usually do a lot of freehand stuff. So basically, it's whatever spirit flips out, I take. No matter how many cards, unless it's a ridiculous amount of cards. Now, I originally wanted to stick to, the same setup as I've had for the past couple of weeks, the same questions, but where there was supposed to be one card here and then some clarifiers. So when I asked the question, what are the current attitudes, thoughts, what is I can't remember what are the aspirations, thoughts, like what are their plans, what are they feeling? I was expecting one card to come out, but two came out, and then I said, okay, well, I'll do two for this side because I have to be balanced, otherwise I make myself crazy. So I took the two cards, and then I was expecting just to lay out whatever, but then 7 cards came out here. So I was like, well, do I take them or do I not take them? Because I really just wanted 4. But because I have all these extra, I figured, well, that must be the full message. That's what they want to come out. And because there is so many in that one question, I decided to then shorten the reading, so that we can clarify if we need to and maybe pull some extra, but depending on the timing of it, I was going to leave out a couple of the other questions just because so many cards came out. And of course, because so many came out on this side, I had to also make it balanced here. But there was an extra card that came out here, but I didn't, I just left it the way that it was. But just so you know, that's why this week's reading is a little bit different. Now, I also have here, what the overview is, what advice, and, is this worth pursuing for this question, which I will do after. And then I have my clarifiers, and I think because I've just got the one question here, and then I have advice as well. But because I left out the other ones, I think this week I will try to do the reversals, as I spoke about before with these clarifiers. And I will have to refer to my notes because I haven't memorized all the reversals. But I thought maybe we can throw that in to see if we get anything different. And I have my other notes too, because there are so many meanings for this card. I like to double check these and pull out whatever I feel might fit. So let us start, as I've done my spiel. For the current thoughts, feelings, aspirations, what they're wanting, what they're thinking, what's going on. For the masculine, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. And then we have the 2 of Cups. And then, of course, this is the clarifier of these 2 cards. Now, 2 of Swords usually deals with, needing to take the blind in the regular position. Did I show you the cards? I'm sorry. I think I showed you. It's needing to make a decision, needing to take the blindfolders off. It's a new beginning that can come from making a choice. And obviously, because we have the Two of Cups here, we're dealing with a soulmate relationship. Now, you know, knowing the masculine is knowing that if they avoid making this decision, that it's going to affect them. And of course, the Two of Swords in reverse is about indecision, confusion. It's being caught between a rock and a hard place, because again, it's a difficult choice. Excuse me, because again, a lot of masculines are currently in codependent relationships. They left this codependent relationship to go into another one, and they probably still don't have all their finances together. They still don't have all, because they might have been just kind of sitting in the comfort, sitting in their karma, not really doing anything for who knows how long, but now they're kind of feeling that they know that that situation isn't fulfilling for them. They know that there is things about themselves that they need to change. They realize the truths of some things that they didn't want to look at before, involving the past situation and their current one. And a lot of masculines are wanting to go back to the other situation, wanting to reconcile. But as I've done in my daily draws, if you don't follow on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, I do daily card pulls. The kind of the theme has still been, you know, people staying stuck, people being in fear, afraid to move forward, afraid of change, afraid of taking off masks, of revealing truths, afraid of rejection if they do, afraid of whatever outcome might happen if they do. So again, a lot of them are just staying in a situation that is unfulfilling because they fear the unknown, even though they know that regardless of whether or not they can go back to this situation or not, and they realize that regardless, there's something in them that needs to change. Their behavior patterns, their karmic cycles, they're starting to notice that a lot of their issues stem from themselves, where they are in life. Because again, we always want to find scapegoats because it's easier to think that outside things are the reason for our current circumstances. Because if we have to accept the fact that it's because of our own karma, our own conditioning, our own unaddressed childhood wounds that have affected us our whole adult lives, and the way that we navigate through our lives and in our relationships, you know, the way we think about ourselves, you know, low self-esteem and all of that coming into play, it's like there's something that has to change. Again, regardless of this situation, they know that they're not happy in their current situation. They know why they entered into that current situation, and it was under false pretenses, you know, for codependent reasons, or again, because they weren't ready to do the shadow work. They weren't ready to face themselves. They just went into another situation that was exactly the same, having voids filled and needs met, but not growing. Because again, a comfort zone is a good place to hang out, but nothing grows there. And they've been feeling that stagnancy. They've been feeling that unhappiness. They've been wanting to change. But again, they feel like, well, if I do this, I got to take off the mask. I've also have to accept accountability and responsibility for my own choices, my own actions. And if I want someone to take me back, then that means that I have to fess up. I can't sweep things under the rug. I can't let time go by and just think that, you know, the actions that happened in the past will magically disappear without me having to actually discuss them, own up to them. Because when we do that, we know that we then have a responsibility from that point on to not engage in those behaviors anymore that caused heartache or relationships to disintegrate. It's about becoming responsible. And again, when we do that, we then also become responsible for ourselves in a way where we cannot blame anybody but ourselves for our own choices. But again, don't look at that in a negative way. It should be looked at as a positive way, because if you're coming into those realizations and you're struggling in your mind with all these thoughts, you're growing. And this is a positive thing. This is what the universe has been waiting for. This is what your higher self has been waiting for. So again, the masculine is at a point where he knows that, I say he, but it could be he, she, they know that a decision has to be made. But again, they're feeling stuck, and they're letting fear keep them stuck. They're letting, again, not wanting to show themselves and their past actions, you know, for what they were, because was about, you know, self-serving things, and it could hurt people. It's going to hurt the person that they're with now if they leave that, and they're afraid of getting hurt or dealing with that situation. They're also afraid of rejection from this side, because maybe they have let things go on for so long, or they know that this person has been waiting to have heart-to-heart conversations, and they've been avoiding it at every turn. They've been downplaying things, downplaying their role, making things out to be not so bad, because again, they didn't want to look at themselves. They didn't want to accept responsibility. They didn't want to be honest, but they know that they're having to be, if they want things to change, if they want a chance to get back with this person, or just to have something better. They know that it's time to kind of step up. And again, they're feeling stuck, but again, it's just a mental stuck. Really, it's just about ripping off that Band-Aid and loving yourself enough, respecting yourself enough to want to change, to want to evolve, and to also free other people from the backlash of our choices. You know, if you're in a situation just to have needs met, or because you were lonely or broke or looking for a place to live, or, you know, because this situation ended, so you scrambled to find something else, again, that was entered under false pretenses, and you're stringing that person along just because again, they're providing something for you that you feel you need, that you weren't able to get for yourself because you didn't want to step up to the plate, perhaps, you know, to become independent, which is a karmic lesson for many. Codependency. Whether it be financial or whatever. A lot of people have financial karma that they're needing to overcome in this life. They're always struggling with finances. But there's something that you need to find that will work for you, that will change that around. And I think that masculine and feminine, both people are kind of looking at that aspect of their lives, you know, the spiritual aspects, their health aspects, their relationships, and their financial. Because all four areas are what's needing to be balanced in order to be truly fulfilled, and not, you know, slacking in any area. Because we have here, you know, this indecision or feeling difficult choice to make in regards to the soulmate relationship, you know, wanting to move forward to karma waters, or possibly, again, some masculines could be at a distance. So, you know, needing to travel to see this person. You know, we have the 8 of Cups here, which is about, you know, walking away from things that are no longer emotionally fulfilling, walking towards, you know, better things, walking towards spiritual enlightenment, walking towards what they know that they need to. But in order to do that, you're going to have to leave something behind, whether it's this situation, or, you know, wondering if you're having to let go of this soulmate relationship. But again, because you feel like you're stuck in your current situation, you can't move forward. So again, it's fear-based stuff. And then we have here the 4 of Cups, which is all about being complacent, being bored, you know, not accepting offers that are being made because we're focusing too much on the woest, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, our own negative self-talk, our own limitations. You know, we want to stay stuck, come up with all kinds of reasons of why we can't, when all we need is one reason of why we should. And that is you, your journey, your growth. what's going to truly make you happy, what you know is in your highest and best. And a lot of that is shedding old ways of being that no longer serve us, walking away from things that no longer serve us, including our own karmic patterns, the way we think again about ourselves, the way we are in our relationships, the way that we apply ourselves in our lives. You know, do we sit around just being in the woe-is, you know, again, blaming everything except and not accepting responsibility for our own life, for our own choices, learning from them, growing from them, and changing, doing something about it. And then we have here the Ace of Cups, which is in reverse. And then we have the Tower. The Ace of Cups is, of course, it's like the gift from the universe. It's love. It's new opportunities in love. But this is upside down. You know, this is, you know, delays or missing opportunities because of our indecisiveness. You know, because we are staying in situations that we know we need to get out of, and we're potentially losing our soulmate relationship because we are stuck in our ego, stuck in our ways. And that needs to change in order to turn this around. And this is like the aha moment or the epiphany. This is the Tower. This is the shakeup that's occurring, which is making this person really start to reflect on all of this stuff, knowing that something's got to give, something's got to change. And we have the World, but this is in reverse. You know, this is also a travel card. Sorry, we had technical difficulties, and about 45 minutes of the reading got screwed up. I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to interrupt the flow, and it stinks because I said a lot of good stuff as usual. But we'll see if we can channel the messages again. We have here the clarifiers that I did for one card on this side, and they were left from the reading that I finished. So I'll leave them here. But I did remove the ones that I did for this one card, so hopefully we'll clarify, and, you know, obviously probably the same message will come out. But it was in regards to feeling stuck in some form of codependency. But we'll get back into that. And also, I guess it worked out because I forgot to do feminine. I forgot to do your advice. So, so I guess it all will work out in the end. So let us get back to where we were with the masculine. We left off on the World in reverse. And, you know, this is about, you know, a lack of completing a cycle, not letting things end, lack of closure happening because we're still holding on to our ways, being stubborn in our ways, not wanting to do what needs to be done to get ourselves unstuck because it makes us uncomfortable, it makes us feel vulnerable, but knowing at the same time that unless we do something, we're going to miss out on an opportunity to reunite with the soulmate, and we're also going to keep ourselves unhappy and stuck in our current karmic situation with the World here being in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is all about clarity, truth. It's a double-edged sword, which means that ripping off that Band-Aid is going to be difficult either way, but necessary. See if I put anything else here for the Ace of Swords. Victory, truth, wisdom. A situation whose potential is a double-edged sword again, because we might be having to hurt someone to get out of this situation. We fear the consequences of our actions, accepting responsibility for our actions. That means, of course, hurting someone else, but it being necessary in order to evolve, to change, regardless if we come back into this situation or not. And also, again, fearing, because we've stayed in our ways so long, because we've stayed on the fence so long, because we've avoided discussing our role, we've tried to downplay things, we've tried to sweep things under the rug, we've tried to make it out to be, you know, not so bad, or again, a lot of deflection tactics, a lot of projection, but it ended up backfiring because this person got turned off. This person saw no growth. This person saw no potential for, should anything happen in the future, you to behave in a different way, because in the relationship, since the separation, you've kind of been being the same. And that was due to your own still conditioning, karma, being stuck in our ways, wanting to be in control, which is probably how you've been in all of your relationships, trying to always have the upper hand to protect oneself. But this is obviously something that needs to be let go of if we are to open ourselves up to true love. And that is to become vulnerable, to no longer wear masks, to no longer, again, engage in behaviors that seem to work for us in the past, but really they haven't, because they've caused you relationships, they've caused you, you know, moving forward in your life, possibly in career or whatever it is. It's, again, needing to overcome ourselves, needing to get out of our own way. And you know that it's up to you now, that you've got to do something. It's gaining a broader understanding and a new view of the situation. And it's also a time to act. So that was for the masculine. And I did clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse. Let's see what comes out. The same things come out again. Ace of Cups reversed. Money, finances, again, financial codependencies. I think what came out the last time, we had the Donna Servizio, which was the helper card. And there was, you know, regret. The regret card came out in regards to love, in regards to our choices. You know, choosing our current situation that was not making us happy, regrets. So again, we have finances coming into play here. Financial codependencies. Lies, you know, deceptions, lying to ourselves, even in regards to trying to justify the things that we do. Again, to, you know, the ends justify the means, but at what cost? Again, it causes you relationships. It causes you, you know, your own self-respect in a way, if you're behaving in underhanded ways or self-serving ways, unbeknownst to the person that you're involved with. It's being unfair to oneself, to the people involved. We have La Ragazza, which is in the reverse. Usually this card deals with change, transformation, tactfulness, and irritation. I'll have to read what it is in the reverse. Oh, and I had mentioned in the last reading, I'm going to start utilizing the reversals, but to bear with me because I haven't memorized all the reversal things yet. Some things I pick up on anyway, but I will check what this one means because I forget right now. I really wish that reading didn't screw up. And I did order a new camera, so hopefully we won't have any more of these problems. Oops. Well, I don't know if I want to take this one up, but this is about celebrations, lightheartedness, joyousness. This also can stand for third-party situations, kind of like the traditional Three of Cups. You know, having to decide between two people, or unable to reunite due to financial codependencies, deceptions. We have the fidelity card, loyalty, faithfulness. This is infidelity. Again, being unfaithful. We have the conversation card, but also in reverse, you know, lack of communication, breakdowns in communication, deceptive communications. Not quite the same cards, but again, it was the same kind of message. Being in financial codependent situations, having regrets about that, you know, lots of lies and deceptions. Again, just around third-party situations or needing to decide between two people. I wish that the other reading didn't mess up. What was the La Regrets, reversed. This stands for, you know, communication again, a lack of communication, an unlucky break, being unlucky in this situation. I'm sorry, I have to look here. La Fidelta in reverse. Yeah, infidelity, insecurity, a lack of trust, tainted love. Because there's a lack of trust here now because of lies. Because of, again, secret relationships, hiding one's feelings, you know, jumping from one situation to the other for codependent reasons again. You know, feeling like you're at odds with the person all the time. But again, this has a lot to do with the masculine trying to keep that control over the situation, even as far as trying to protect the truth from coming out. Even if this person knows the truth because they were there, but by admitting to it, you just feel like it makes it real, even though it's already real. So again, trying to downplay things, trying to cover up lies with more lies, again, to try to save face. Perhaps, I think I mentioned in the last round that perhaps portraying to this side that this situation was something real and genuine. Again, trying to hide the fact that you entered into this situation for the same reasons as you were in this one before, for codependent reasons, voids being filled, needs being met. But instead of being honest about that, trying to make it out all to be like that's not the case. But again, the lying, even to oneself, trying to justify one's actions or to keep up a facade, it's backfiring. And you're realizing that you're going to lose an opportunity because of resisting change within ourselves, first and foremost. But the advice for the masculine, again, was codependency issues, finances, and career. They're a factor in your love life. You know, you could have been in this situation, still coasting along, still sitting in the lowest, not applying yourself because, again, the needs were being met the same way they were met over here. So when everything is being taken care of for us, we don't put in the effort for ourselves. Instead, we'll sit around and make excuses and do whatever because that pressure isn't on, because it's already being provided. But this is the lesson here, that one needs to become financially independent so that way you enter into relationships for the right reasons, for love reasons, which is what you're realizing here, because you realize that you really love this person. But it took you to lose this person and to be sitting in this situation that turned out to be unfulfilling, because no matter where you go, there you are. And you've slowly realized that the issues has a lot to do with you. And finances and career is an issue. Codependency is an issue. Codependent, alcohol, drugs, gambling, sitting in our, patterns of behavior, codependent patterns of behavior, fears, financial, whatever it is. This is what you're needing to address. And this comes out over and over and over again. And that's why it seems a lot of times too that these messages don't seem to change much. And that's because the people involved aren't changing. So as we sit and wonder why every week it seems to be that this person is still sitting thinking, this person is still stuck, and it seems kind of redundant, that's because, well, people don't change. People refuse change. People resist change. People don't want to accept responsibility for their own life, for their own actions, the consequences of those actions. Again, it's so easy to blame other things than to really look in the mirror and say, hey, it's me. I'm the problem here. It's not always the other person. And here's another big problem: deception. You are deceptive. You've been fooling oneself, lying in this situation, lying in that situation, whether it's, one's motives, one's intentions, actions of the past, our true feelings. This needs to go too. This needs to be addressed. Your deceptive ways, your finances, your codependency, these are all problems for you. And they're telling you very soon, clearly decide what you want, because you obviously need to make a choice. Regardless if you go back to this person or not, this choice has to do with you and changing yourself. It's time. And then we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So don't let your fear keep you from saying how you feel, keep you from going towards emotional fulfillment, going towards your soulmate or your twin flame, because you fear dealing with all of this. So again, we want to just stay stuck and blame the world for why this relationship isn't coming together, why we are where we are, whatever it is. But you're needing to go towards love. You're needing, again, to get out of codependent situations, deceptive situations, and go towards love. And then we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. This includes, for ourselves, because we've learned a lesson, forgiving ourselves, but also being able to hold ourselves accountable and admit to the things that we were wrong in, admit to the deceptions, so that we can truly learn and transcend and heal. And again, mature two-way conversations need to be had. If you want someone to give you another chance, you have to show them that you are capable of self-reflection, of change, and of effort, including the effort that you put into your own self, into your own life. So this is about forgiving and learning. But again, it takes two people to engage in two-way conversations about the past and what you can do in the present and what you will do in the future to turn things around. And speaking of the present, we have attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Again, stop sitting around focusing on these 3 cups. What can you do in the present? In the present, you can take off those blinders. In the present, you can work on your finances. In the present, you can work on yourself. In the present, you can have heart-to-heart conversations. Open up, say how you feel, get off the fence, make a choice. And that way you will attract to you that which you seek, that which is in your highest and best. It's certainly not codependency and deceptions and staying stuck. Now, for the feminine, we had the 4 of Wands and her, what is she thinking, her feelings, aspirations. We have the 4 of Wands in reverse, which is basically, an unhappy household, unstable household, unhappy, I already said unhappy, but not feeling fulfilled in one's home life. a breakdown again in the communication in regards to the person that you had a home life with or that you want to have a home life with. This, we have the Six of Wands, which is all about um, victory. It's about forward movement. It's about accomplishment. It's about getting noticed for our contributions and our presence. And then we have Justice, which is again about karmic justice, karmic scales being balanced. And when we speak of karmic scales being balanced, we think, oh, well, if things are balanced, then why haven't I come back with this person? That would be justice being served, or, you know, whatever. But really, the justice is for you. If you've gotten out of a toxic situation, whether it's soulmate, twin flame, whatever it is, justice has been served because you woke up. You ceased participating in that karmic cycle. You recognized that within yourself that needed to be healed, that needed to be changed. You now know that you deserve better. That's why it's so frustrating for you when you don't see this person doing the same thing. So you don't feel like you're being appreciated. You don't feel like you're being noticed for your efforts, even as far as trying to reconcile with this person. You're wanting there to be justice. Again, but sometimes the justice is served if you've done what I've just spoken of, even though it may not feel that way. Spiritually, justice has been served. So whether or not this person steps up to the plate and comes around because you've grown and you've learned, you've now opened yourself up to, or you should be opening yourself up to, a new opportunity that is better. And it could be with this person if they do the work, if they wake up, if they communicate, or again, you're freeing up yourself from letting go of this situation so that someone else can come in who will be a better match for you at this stage in your soul's growth. Now, we have the why of this is the Hermit in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse, the Five of Wands, Knight of Cups in reverse, the Eight of Pentacles, in reverse. It's kind of hard to move things around because stuff's in the way now. And then we had the Seven of Pentacles, whoops, and the Emperor. So this is all about, you know, trying to go within, trying to figure things out, feeling conflicted, you know, because you're not feeling happy, you're not feeling victorious, you're not feeling the wishes of being fulfilled, you know, you're not feeling like you want to continue to put work into this situation because you're not getting back anything that's showing you potential. We have here checks and balances, looking at the looking at the seeds that you've planted, and weighing out the pros and cons of this situation. And then we have the Emperor, which is all about self-governing, self-control. So you wanting to have control again over your emotions, over your future, over your life. Again, weighing everything out. Still in a little bit of state of confusion because, again, you're looking for this side to give you something to go on. Or you're wondering if you should just chuck up your losses. Now, this Knight of Cups in reverse, you know, it could have been you before I clarified. I said you could be feeling emotionally unbalanced, conflicted, unhappy, you know, a little bit depressed even. I said, or it could be the person that you're dealing with. Now, when I clarified it, we had the Il Nemico card come out in the reverse. We had the Mercante card come out in the reverse. And then we had the Militari card come out in reverse. All of this speaks of somebody who is deceptive, that we know is deceptive. What was the other? Deals with shady dealings, shady behaviors. If I remember that all correctly. Yeah, shady dealings, open enemy. Oh yes, and we had the thief also in the reverse, as well as a malto, which is the depression card in the reverse. And the thief deals with, somebody who was financially draining. Again, a codependent. Um, and then we had the La Lettera. The precious gift, which is about, looking for someone to offer you something, looking for someone to offer you some truths about their deceptive ways to kind of move this forward. You're looking again for a showing of love, for someone who's reflective on the past, who's willing to show you their feelings, or you're wondering if this person ever will, because you've been met with nothing but stonewalling, deflection, people not holding themselves accountable, sweeping things under the rug, downplaying. Again, you're not seeing growth potential here. And again, you're weighing out all the things that transpired in this relationship, the deceptive ways, the financial drain. That was possibly an issue here. And the Amalto, non-development, blocked situations, coldness. Again, somebody being aloof, detached, not being engaging in emotional exchange with you. Hidden secrecy, hidden matters, feeling insecure too in regards to, again, this person is giving you nothing, no confidence that they're capable of change. And I mentioned in the previous reading how, some people were in karmic relationships, karmic soulmates, and you could have been dealing with a narcissist. A narcissist will never change. That was a learning experience, and you need to educate yourself on narcissistic personality disorder and other cluster B personality types to see if that's what you were dealing with. That might give you some clarity and some peace and some resolution in yourself and some acceptance, though it will be painful, but necessary wisdom that you will need in order to find closure for yourself, to move on from a situation. There's also a person, his name is Richard Grannon, and I'll supply the link. He recently did a video too on another side of a codependent, where they can, even though a narcissist is a codependent, but it's a different kind of codependent where this person can behave a lot like a narcissist, but is capable of some self-reflection, is capable of change. But again, it has to come from within them. They might have to go to therapy. They really have to do the work, because you're always going to be fighting with their issue. And I can't remember the name of the type of codependent it is, but it's a person who, again, pulls you in and then pushes you away, pulls you in and then pushes you away. And it's this back and forth, and you can't figure out where you're standing with this person. You show too much love, they fear it because of their childhood wounding. So they push it away. So they enter into shallow relationships or just ones for codependent needs and stuff where they don't have to really invest because they fear love. But at the same time, if you try to give it, they push you away. But then they get all into their, well, see, that's why I knew I shouldn't have invested in it, and then they shut down, and it's like this fine line. Either way, I mean, again, with the narcissist, you need to just get out of that. But with this kind of person, there is a potential, but it's going to be a challenge. And especially if the person isn't willing to see that about themselves. You're always going to be doing battle. You're always going to be, hitting walls, and you don't know what to do. So I will provide that link so that you can look that up as well. again, unless people go to therapy, no one is diagnosed, but it's like you do get a lot of information from research. And with or without confirmation from this person, patterns of behavior don't lie. And if you see a pattern, if you know that all their past relationships was similar, if you realize that this person always seems to have bad luck or woe stories, or can't, if this is a pattern for them, then you got to know that you can't change anybody. It has to be within them. They have to want it. And according to these cards, this is a person, again, this is a general reading, so to know what's specific for your situation, the personal reading is best. But as far as this reading goes, and as far as the readings that I've been doing, I mean, this side, if this is the person that you're dealing with, or this could be a separate masculine who's dealing with their own problems, and you're a separate feminine, and I'm describing different situations that you're in now, but you're potentially meeting this person or meeting other people. It depends. But you'll know what you're dealing with by what you're being met with. But even then, like it says, when I saw his video, that brought an even a newer understanding of a new possibility of why a person may be behaving the way that they are. And although that situation, again, leaves some hope that a full-blown narcissist would not be able to give you, it's still a difficult situation. And the choice is still yours, whether or not to deal. And you should only be dealing if this person recognizes their stuff and is willing to work on it. Otherwise, you're just going to get sucked right back into a karmic thing, because this is where they're in. This is where they want to stay in. This is what they're fighting against. Everybody's fighting themselves, and it's tough. And that's why, again, it seems like it just keeps lingering and lingering week after week. It's because, again, people fear change. People fear admitting to even the stuff that they do that's shitty towards other people. But they do it from a wounded place. And that's why always those compassion cards come out and stuff. It's like, try to have compassion for people, but that doesn't give them a get out of jail free card. Again, respect begets respect. Love begets love. And you should only be putting in effort where effort is being matched. No more one-sided situations, because those are imbalanced, karmic, unsatisfactory. Nothing grows. It just perpetuates, again, toxic cycles. So I will leave that link there so you can kind of do some research on your own, follow your own intuition, maybe get a personal reading, something to know more specific for your situation. But these are kind of like the options that might be, the possibilities that might be in regards to this situation with the person that you're dealing with. But obviously, week after week, we come up with the same issues: codependency and deception, lies, people in there, and it's tough. It's a tough situation, especially when you love people, especially when you want to be with people, but you can't be with them if it's going to make you unhappy, if it's going to keep you stuck. So always do what is best for you. And again, only put in effort where effort's being matched. Don't stay stuck waiting for someone else to move you along. And then there's this emperor here. This also could be the person that you're dealing with, someone that is, stuck in their ways, who is stoic, who is unwavering, who is unwilling to open up, to be honest, because they want to keep control, because that's their wounding, that's their whatever it is. So your advice, since we didn't do it the last time, was worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And I've mentioned before, I forget if I've mentioned it in the video earlier, but I do daily polls, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, where I spoke of, I think in today's, about divine timing. And two people, again, have to be on the same page. And they're trying to tell you the same thing. It's about divine timing. It's about, again, two people putting in the effort. We have separation, time apart from your partners on the horizon. Again, if you're dealing with this person, this is because they're still, you know, in their stuff. And then we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Again, that's only if you're being, only if they're expressing that to you. You know, kind of be open to a possibility of a reconciliation. But again, only if they're meeting you. Only if they're meeting you halfway. Only if they're showing you stuff. And then we have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. This is about, you know, taking time to be together. Getting to know each other. Heart-to-heart conversations. Release your ex. Time has come to clear your energy. And then engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Now, you know, this could be in reference again to this person. Yes, your love life can, you know, ascend to a higher level of commitment if people have heart-to-heart conversations, you know, forgiving and learning, releasing the past. If this person is showing you that, again, they can be honest and hold themselves accountable and all that stuff, and that, you know, the time apart was necessary in order, that's why it was worth waiting for if this person steps up to the plate. Or they're letting you know that you went through this experience, you know, and maybe it's paving the way again for someone new to come into your life, and you're needing to just heal from this. You know the truth. You don't need this person to give you answers. You already got the answers. How people treat you is the answer. You know, you don't have to sit there and wonder, what are they showing you? There's your answer. Regardless if they're in their head, regardless if they're torn, whatever, what are their actions showing you? And unless their actions are showing you otherwise, keep it moving. That's my advice. But, you know, like I said, if they do, be open to having those talks. And the message for you both is to ask your angels, you know, meditate, go within, do the reflective work, which you both seem to be doing. You know, we're trying to release control of the situation, let go and let God for the feminine. You know, don't wait around for this person. Move on with your life. And that way you free yourself up for a new opportunity to come in, or at least you're not staying stagnant waiting for this person. And for this person, go within, figure it out. And then we have here playfulness to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. This is just about trying to be in the present moment, trying to find your joy again, your peace again within yourselves, so that it can reflect outwardly in your life. It's about trying to find, you know, the joy again. And if you're trying to reconcile, you know, try to remember what it is that brought you together, what it is that you can connect with this person, you know, what your real feelings are, you know, come back to love. If that can get you out of your fear from speaking up, try to remember again what brought you together in the first place, those feelings. Or this is about trying to find that within yourself so you can be open to something new. And then we have higher power, which is, let me grab this book here. Higher power number 4. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This is about your spiritual path, your spiritual growth, your journey. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation.